The last time we went racing on MAV TV, the ATV National Motocross Series visited venerable High Point Raceway. Defending series champion Chad Wienen finally got his season on track, leading the field early in Moto 1. But series leader Joel Hetrick put in an unbelievable charge, first getting around Ford and Brandon Hogue. And then Hogue and Ford crashed into each other, battling for third. Hetrick would not stop charging until he got side by side with Wienen and took over the lead in an incredible come-from-behind ride. And the Pennsylvania native had won the first moto in his home state. On to Moto 2, a big first turn crash. But Hetrick was out front early and knew exactly what to do from there. Wienen began a charge to attempt to get to second, finally making the move on the number 2 of Max Lindquist to get the spot. Michael Allred in the number 8 put in one of the best rides of his career, while Wesley Wolf's machine succumbed to the High Point track. Last lap and Rastrelli coming from behind, overcoming the first turn crash. Hetrick takes the 1-1 sweep. It's Ford and Wienen joining him on the podium, but can anyone stop the 88? ATV National Motocross rolls into Indiana, about an hour west of Indianapolis. Ironman Raceway, a beautiful place to race. You just look at that scenery and terrain and you know it. But what's really unique about this place is the elevation change. See these big hills, ups and downs? Even the kids in the amateur divisions taking to those. You've got perfectly flat land here for parking and pits, but then a bunch of hills and jumps out of the racetrack. Our pro riders are getting ready. Jason Wygant here, your host on MAV TV, as we get ready for this championship round. John Glauda, part of the GNCC, the Cross Country Series, going to try some laps today as a motocross rider. At 741, Wesley Wolf, he does the same, splitting duties in both series. It's Michael Allred been putting in some of his best rides ever as of late. Nick DeNoble back in action today. Gonna have some fun in a part-time schedule. 26 of Brandon Hogue, been very fast this year. And some retro yellow and black livery here for Joel Hetrick on the Yamaha. Let's check in.
Looking at the track yesterday and a little bit today, it looks hard-packed, dry slick, just kind of like High Point, so I'm pretty happy with that. Looks like there could be some weather later in the day, maybe for second moto for sure. That's what it looks like, but who knows? It could rain, it could not. We don't know. It's been changing so much that you can't really even go off what the weather app says. But either way, we're ready. We got the red plate still. We're happy, confident, and ready to go out there and have some fun.
Chad Wienen, defending series champs, been getting better as the season goes on, but really needs an overall win. Let's talk to the number 1.
Looking forward to it. Had a good stay at home. Getting ready for this round. I feel like we got something really good for today coming into this race. I did some tuning. You know, it's just all about executing my starts and getting out there and having some fun and putting it out here for the Midwest. Let's go.
Yeah, Wienen coming out of Illinois. As we get ready for qualifying here on MAV TV, we'll show you the top stars of our pro class and show you just how fast and how far they can go. Love how Hetrick, they're running different looks on their Phoenix racing machines every weekend this year, and they are on Yamahas. The Honda team for a long, long time. They've got that Yamaha definitely sorted out, though, this year. Wienen has been a Yamaha rider for all of his titles. He looks fast on the one as expected. Bryce Ford on the number 4 may be the closest to unseating that Hetrick Wienen domination of the series. Brandon Hogue, though, has also been up there this year. And the 28 of Jeffrey Rastrelli, a contender as well. It's Nick Janusa. Love the way this track is formed up. Like I said, this dirt is awesome. Janusa ripping through those whoops. There's Wesley Wolf here, airing it out. And this is what we call Godzilla, the big uphill jump. It's Max Lindquist attacking it. Cody Ford, Bryce's brother, off the track. I don't think there was a smooth line. I think that was a mistake. See Torini and Decker on the 51 and the 23. And then that red 101 is Cesar Jimenez. And there's Vincent Merman on the 535. Michael Allred, as mentioned a couple times in the show, getting faster with each week. And the 123 is Nick DeNoble. Good to see him back in action. And good to see a Suzuki out there. That was Marshall Smith rolling through. Hetrick ends up Your top qualifier over Wienen and Ford. No real surprises there. ATV Motocross on MAV TV, brought to you by RP Race Performance. By Rocky Mountain, ATVMC.com. And by CST Tires. Welcome back, ATV National Motocross coverage, Ironman Raceway in Indiana. The Baldwin Motorsports team, they've been spinning wrenches for a long time, and Bryce Ford, they've got a young talent on their hands.
Knew I was comfortable on this track. I've done really well here in the past and just trusted my bike and trusted the setup that we have this year. But super excited to get into the racing. Just need to focus on getting a good gate and getting a start, and then we'll go from there.
All right, the pros are almost ready after qualifying for their motos, but the cool thing about the ATV Motocross Series is we incorporate the amateur racing right into the flow of the program with the pro riders. So everything from the minis and the women's division, some vet classes, you name it. And sometimes they get a little aggressive out there, just like the pros do. And it's the rare sport where you get to attack the same racetrack on the same race days as the top riders in the world. But Joel Hedrick's team and the rest of the boys are headed to the starting gate for our first of two motos today. There's Chad Wienen, who desperately needs his first overall win of the year, not just so much for points, but for momentum. Rocky Mountain ATVMC camera will be on Jeffrey Rastrelli. Let's go racing. Someone didn't get launched out of the gate. Hedrick's going to lead them in to the first turn. Brandon Hogue and Jeffrey Rastrelli second and third. Hogue down to the inside, wants to make a pass and does. Great move to get around Hedrick. So Hogue is not messing around, and he has been so good this year. Every round he has shown crazy speed, and he's doing it right now. You don't rip the lead away from Joel Hedrick. You just don't see that happening. But now Hedrick up Godzilla is about to reclaim it. Thanks to Rastrelli for the onboard. And for those actions, he is rewarded with a face full of Indiana Roost. So Hedrick getting the lead back. Hogue, Rastrelli give chase. That's Wienen pretty far back. I believe it's actually Bryce Ford. Yeah, there's Ford. He would be next in the running order. It's the first blue Yamaha you see. And Wienen has some work to do. What I want to see, can these guys keep Hedrick in sight? I'm talking about Ford, Rastrelli, and Hogue. Ford looking to make a move on Rastrelli right now. Man, you just love that as they try to figure out the rhythms through those jump lanes. There are some options out there. I think Ford's working on something, and it has worked because he's moved up to the number 3 spot. Zach Decker on the 23 in the hunt as well. You'd love to see talent getting up in the mix. It has been a Hedrick versus Wienen show for so many years in this series. But look at this battle right now. A 4-rider battle between Hedrick and Wienen. And Hogue has been a completely different rider this year. He has shown flashes in the past, but he has been so strong throughout this 2022 campaign. As Ford tries to hold off Rastrelli and the rest of that pack, and also go after Hogue for the number 2 spot. And there is that fight. Hogue actually getting away just a little bit. Look at this onboard with Rastrelli. Good angle here. Under the covered bridge. Now here's where you can dial in some different jump combinations, as we mentioned. Rastrelli's gotten back around. No, that is Wienen challenging Rastrelli now. Ford is still third here. He comes through here in the number 4, and then watch his side-by-side battle behind him. And you do not want Chad Wienen behind you in a set of rollers or whoops like that. He is so fast through rough terrain. Oh! Hedrick gets it kicked a little bit sideways. Gets it back together, so we go back to the battle. Oh, there's a big leap out of Ford. So that's what he's been working on. Doubling out of turn 1. Watch him just float in the air over Godzilla. Oh, Ford, there's a mistake behind him, and Wienen another pass. What Chad Wienen does, gets his back against the wall. You think it's going to be a bad moto, and he always finds a way to put it on the podium. Even with a bad start. So now Ford is going to deal with the pressure, and there's Wienen to the inside. See if he made the move. Hedrick is long gone. Oh, making it look good there. And it is Chad Wienen. He did make the move on Ford. So as strong as Ford and Rastrelli are, Wienen has picked through them one-on-one. Can he get to the number 2 spot now? It's up to Hogue to hold him off. Different line choices. Good to see the track offering that. As Wienen's going to slide it like a TT track all the way around the outside. It's a right-hand turn, though. Here's Ford clearing that big double. Now the other big jump on the track, Godzilla. Ford has got serious heat from Rastrelli. Oh! And the pass almost made. He gets it right back. And you hear when you're on board how hard it is to control that fine line between traction and wheel spin. Hammering the clutch out of that corner. Here's Wienen. He has caught Hogue, looking for that number 2 position. Man, I really thought they had Wienen again against the ropes, back against the wall, whatever you want to call it in this one, but he might end up in second before it's over. Hogue's going to do everything he can to hold him off. Oh, nice job by Wienen to go inside, still get that double, almost get to the backside, and he is almost running into the back of Hogue here. You know he has this outside line dialed. He's tried it for a couple of laps now. Gonna put him in the inside for the left-hander. He's got it. Hogue tries to come back. What about this double here? Neither rider able to get it, but into the rollers. Oh, Max Lindquist has had a problem. He has flipped it. Lindquist battling for a podium in our last race at High Point. And now he's down. Joel Hedrick doing everything he can do to try to build a points lead over Chad Wienen. And no matter what, he's going to look over his shoulder and say, man, the guy got second again. And when he finds out that Wienen was 6th or so at the beginning of this moto and the rest of the field couldn't hold him back, it has got to get frustrating. Just can't make up points, or in this case, this season, stretch the lead in big chunks. Wienen is just too consistent. It's like Lindquist is back on the machine. Not back up to race speed, but good to know he's at least healthy enough to get back on board. Time running out here in Moto 1. Joel Hedrick has thrown down. Ford and Rastrelli had a nice battle going. Look at Hedrick, man. Popping up off the pegs. Last lap now. Hedrick setting sail. Lindquist, you see the dirt on his shoulder, continues to wave riders by. He's just trying to collect a few extra points by circulating. Ford holding off Rastrelli. More huge air from Hedrick. Wienen will follow suit. Wait a minute, Rastrelli's not done. These two, Rastrelli and Ford, have been battling the whole time. And what a last lap charge for Jeffrey Rastrelli to get back right on the rear wheels. But the time is up, and there is the checkered flag. Hedrick, Wienen, Hogue. Ford does hold Rastrelli off. Time to clean up. Joel, you got to come back for Moto 2. ATV Motocross coverage is brought to you by RP Race Performance, Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com, and by CST Tires. Well, things have changed in a hurry here at Ironman Raceway. You see everybody wearing jackets, and the skies are dark. We've had rain and potential lightning in the area. Last moments of riders trying to change their setups to mud tires, and now the rain has opened, and we've gone from dry, slick, dusty conditions in Moto 1 to yet another all-time mudder. Wienen grabs the all-important hole shot, and I cannot believe we have another mud race in this series. It seems to happen all the time. And these guys are just getting flooded. Look at these conditions. Rastrelli challenging Wienen for the lead. They're actually staying clean only because the rain is washing the mud off. But now you got to start worrying about goggles. You got to start worrying about the machines surviving these conditions. I mean, this is an epic downpour. And again, how prepared was everyone for this? Because it struck so quick, and they weren't sure if they were going to hold the gate or not due to the threat of lightning. Wienen clearly ready enough. Listen to the water hitting their cameras. Now we're on board with Ford, and his machine did not sound healthy, and that is going to be the theme of this one. Who can just get to the finish? Second story is, where's Joel Hetrick, our first moto winner? Wesley Wolf has got a lot of experience in this mud racing cross country. He's taking the goggles off. He is running third. This is just chaos. Listen to the rain. And Wienen has come to a stop. So this is a disaster leading this race. It's the type of break he normally gets. He scores points in these conditions. This is unbelievable. And Wesley Wolf is going for the lead. I told you he's got the cross-country experience. Racing in the mud. Probably did a lot at this Ironman facility. We have a huge GNCC event here. They've had some mud races before, and he is pulling away now. Hetrick has come to a stop in the rain, and they're working on the electronics under there. Looks like Wienen has gotten it refired, and he is not in any sort of hurry. Or maybe that's as fast as he can go. I have never seen anything like that. He's literally cruising first gear speed, maybe 10 miles an hour, to just try to circulate. Rastrelli now with equipment problems. This is nuts. And Wesley Wolf in control. Can he get the moto win? Listen to Ford's machine. Logan Stanfield is in second. Mike Allred is in third. Janusa is fourth. And by the way, shout out to those guys clearing that double. Stanfield now up to second. This is just nuts. It really is going to come down to which machine quits last. See Wolf, I think, trying to stay out of the deep stuff up on those ruts and along the side of the racetrack. This is motocross. This is not supposed to be treacherous like this. Now riders working together. Hetrick and a group. They are pushing and pulling their machines to the top of the jumps. So many mud races in the history of this series, but I have never quite seen that. Riders pulling each other's ATVs to the top of the jumps. And Wesley Wolf is still riding hard. Here's Ford. And by the way, motocross boots, they have no traction on the face of those hard-packed, slick jumps when they're wet. Wolf still rolling. Only a few minutes to go in this one. Allred and Ford. It's Cody Ford's machine, the number 5. This is unbelievable. So Nick DeNoble, he just wanted to come out and race one more of these for fun, he says, and now he's up to second in the moto. Hetrick going to try to do like Wienen, gets the machine refired, maybe can coast around and collect a few points. Here's Harv Whipple of AMA Pro Racing. And now you see the rain has finally stopped, so maybe Hetrick can get it to the finish. Now Wolf, your leader, is having problems. He's coasting. Lindquist, remember, he crashed out of the first moto. Can Wolf get there? And Bryce Ford, they're trying to get the water out of his machine by flipping it. There's Stanfield running the Indianapolis Colts logos. Now we're on to the final lap. I don't even know, is that the Noble in the lead? Hogue, well now they're just gesturing to the cameras. Wienen is still circulating in 5th. Rastrelli's out. He takes a long tow back to the pits. Stanfield trying to pump the water out of his machine. These ATVs are destroyed now. Lindquist, he's done. No, DeNoble is in 2nd, they're saying. Well, He's going to come out of retirement today, have some fun, but destroy the machine, but maybe end up with a win. Hetrick just having a good time. I guess that's all you can do in these conditions. Now DeNoble's going to get the checkers. DeNoble's going to win the moto. Wesley Wolf will end up second. I have no idea how this has happened. I don't even know if they do. And DeNoble just found out he won. I think it's actually Wienen with the overall today with 2-5 scores. Hetrick second overall with a 1-8. Something like that. Let's talk to them.
Yeah, just got cleaned up, and I ended up hitting my front tooth on my bumper. I went over the handlebars, which sucked. I just had some pretty bad luck at the very last turn. I had my first overall that was there, but we ended up third still, so I'm still happy with that. But yeah, it just sucks. Pretty bad luck. I feel like I could have had maybe 2 wins this year with Daytona, but it is what it is. And hopefully we'll just get better results here at the next race.
Very wet conditions and just unbelievable track. I couldn't believe that we ended up racing out there in those conditions with the lightning strikes and everything like that. The show went on, but man, I got the whole shot, and we ended up not even making it the first full lap, and machine shut down, taking on water, and just kind of took my time, and I got it refired at least a couple minutes later, and then I ended up circulating the track and ended up finishing third somehow. So wild day with a 2-3 overall finish, and taking P1 of the day. So good points for us. We're just got to keep pushing along and get ready for Sunset Ridge next.
Just a mess, honestly. The rain came down on the second moto line. Looked like there was lightning in the vicinity, and we were sent out there just guns blazing, and didn't even make it around to the first lap. Got stuck on the finish line. The bike stalled. Tried to e-start it forever. Managed to get it up over the hill, and then we got it bump started, and I finished like 4 laps. There was probably 10 guys that were sitting on the track, just sitting there, DNF, or I'm sure they didn't make it around. There's probably 5 guys that made the whole race. Just pretty brutal. Nothing we could really do about it, but nothing we can do now. So happy with second overall. Heading to Sunset. Looking forward to that one. Trying to get another win under my belt. Just keep the positive and the smiles going.
And Hetrick still leads the standings over Wienen 213 to 187, so he was able to maintain the majority of his points lead today. Look at this footage from Moto 1. Couldn't have asked for better weather or better conditions. Hetrick and Brandon Hogue battle for the lead early. Hetrick on the 88 starts to pull away. Hogue under pressure from Ford and Rastrelli, and eventually Wienen gets in the picture as well. Here's onboard with Rastrelli. Wienen a great comeback, making moves to eventually get to the number 2 position. That would loom large for the overall a little later. Look at this slick move down the inside. And then an outside line to get Hogue. That would eventually be that pass for the second place position as Hetrick takes the Moto win. Now everything's going to look totally different for Moto number 2. Look, Wienen gets the all-important hole shot, and normally in a mud race it's a big advantage, but even his machine wouldn't be able to get to the finish line without problems in these conditions. So there is Wienen, your race leader. Probably at that point figures he's done. Unreal how hard it was raining. Hetrick has mechanical problems. Eventually, Wienen gets his machine refired and coasts around to go 2-5 in the motos. Hogue could have won the overall. He had trouble right there at the end. As he mentioned, even chipped the tooth with a crash. Wesley Wolf ends up second in the moto. Nick DeNoble, 14-1. But the overall goes to Chad Wienen. Keep those goggles on. It's been that kind of day. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.